Hello, I would just like to share about some of the modifications I have made to the face mask pattern from Deaconess Hospital. I will share their link to the original pattern below in the information about this video. It's a very simple rectangle with pleats. The first modification I've made is instead of putting one piece of elastic, I am putting two and making them a little longer, and so you can tie them two on each side, so a total of four. That gives you an adjustable length instead of dealing with whatever comes out from the length of the single piece of elastic you chose. The second modification I have made is to insert a nose piece in one side, what would be the top. And for nose pieces, you can buy several different kinds of nose pieces, different places. I got these metal pieces that can be bent, and these are a combination of metal and plastic, kind of like a heavy twisty tie. Both of these I got on Amazon, but you don't have to do that. You can simply take a piece of those fuzzy pipe cleaners you may have around the house from kids' crafts projects, fold it in half and twist it so that it just is nice and strong. I would point out that the ends are kind of sharp, so I like to fold them over and tuck them in. And you can use that as your nose piece. And simply put it in the middle, and then you can see I'm not a great seamstress, so it looks a little sloppy, but you just sew down around the edges to keep that in place, and you can shape it for your nose. The third modification I've made is leaving the bottom open so that you could insert a piece of paper towel, a filter. There are all different kinds of filters you can look into. I would say this is a little bit more of a hassle than I think is worth. I am looking at, instead of making a 2-layer mask, maybe just doing 3 layers instead of a filter. Or you could always just put the piece of paper towel in between the actual mask and your face, or whatever filter. The final modification you can make is to adjust your pattern to the size of the person who's going to use the mask. I'm going to put this on and just hook it over my ears. So what you want to look for is where you want the mask to hit, up here about the bridge of the nose, and where down under the chin you want it to be. Measure that length and add 1/2 inch for seam allowance, and that will be this distance on your rectangle. Then look about where you want it to hit, right about here on the jaws. Measure across that distance and add 1/2 inch for the seam allowance. That's the width of your rectangle. So if you like an over-the-ear mask, or you have one of the pieces that connects the straps to take the pressure off your ears, this is a very simple mask to make, not a lot of special tools, because you're just cutting out a simple rectangle. It's quite easy to cut out. Trickiest part, I would say, is getting the pleats. That can be a little tricky, but if you don't care too much about how nice they are, that you just get pleats, it's a pretty easy, straightforward mask to make.